Hello everyone, in this video we are going to look at Roman numerals. Now, the first question you might be asking is, how does this relate to nursing? Why am I learning this? Now historically they were used in prescriptions when doing dosages. However, it's all switched to Arabic numbers, the number system we're all used to, because of dosing errors and for safety concerns. However, it is still used in small ways in different areas of medicine. So in medical context, if they're looking at categorization, so cancer staging, chronic kidney disease staging, heart failure classification, all that, they use Roman numerals. The cranial nerves are also denoted with Roman numerals in anatomy, neurology, and clinical practice. Some medical devices, blood clotting factors. So there is small ways that it's used. So this is more a, for your information, be aware of Roman numerals. So the rules for writing a number in Roman numerals or reading Roman numerals is that the basic digits are written with the letters I, V, X, L, C, D, and M, which represent the same number regardless of where it is in the position. So there's not really place value with Roman numerals. They're placed in order from largest to smallest as a sort of general statement. If you do have a higher number and then a lower number, you sort of add these together. So for example, I would be 1 plus 1 or 2. XX would be 10 plus 10, which is 20. If I have something like XI, that would be 10 plus 1, which is 11. And so you just sort of add their values together. Now you can also put a smaller value in front of a larger value if you want to subtract. Now there is some rules with that. Only I, X, and C can be used as subtractive numerals, and there's only sort of 6 combinations of this. So you can put I in front of V to be 4, I in front of X to be 9, X in front of L to be 40, X in front of C to be 90, C in front of D to be 400, and C in front of M to be 900. So only I, X, and C can be used in this subtractive way, and you can only use one letter in this case, only one letter in front to be subtracted. I, X, and C you can't put more than 3 times in a row, and V, L, and D you can't repeat at all. Okay, so in a general statement, you don't have a letter more than 3 times in a row. So I know that sounds really confusing, but I promise once you jump into it, it's not as bad as it seems. So here is sort of our basic ones we're looking at. S represents half, I is 1, V is 5, X is 10, L is 50, C is 100, D is 500, and M is 1,000. So if we were to count up in Roman numerals, we have S, I for 1, I is 2, I is 3. Now I can't write 4 in a row, so this is where I'm going to use a subtraction. So because V is 5, I'm going to put IV, meaning 5 minus 1, which is 4. And then V is 5, VI, or 5 plus 1, gets us 6. 5 plus 1 plus 1, 7. 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 8. And again, because I can't write another one, I have to use that subtraction and do IX, okay, which is 10 minus 1, or 9. Then I have 10, and then 11 would be XI, XII, XIII, and so on. So you would just kind of keep going. So that's how you get from 1 to 10. Now, once you're at 10, to get to 20, you're going to do XX. 30 would be XXX. And then I can't do 4 X's, so that's when you would do 50 minus 10, which is one of those subtraction rules that we talked about, and so on. And then again, we have L, C, D, and M. Okay? So how do we put this all together? Essentially, you want to break the number down into numbers you can add together. So what I mean by that is, for example, 13, I can do 10 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. So I've broken it down into its sum using tens and ones, right? So I'm using these numbers, these here, to write an addition or subtraction statement. So to write that then as a Roman numeral, 10 is x and 1 is I. So I'm going to write x, I. Okay. So I want you to try those next three. Write them as Roman numerals. You're going to pause the video, try those out, and then start it up again when you're ready. Okay, so let's take these up and see how you did. So again, I want to write 26 using the addition of tens, fives, and ones. And so 20, I'm going to do 10 plus 10. And then to get to 6, I'm going to do plus 5 plus 1. So let's write that in Roman numerals. We're going to have x, x, v, I. For 137, so I'm looking at my numbers here. I can do 100 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, and then 7 is plus 5 plus 1 plus 1. So all together, 100 is C, so C, X, 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 V, I. Okay, and last one here, 1,462. Well, I can do 1,000. To get to 400, I can't do 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100 because that's 4 in a row. So that means I have to use the 500 minus 100 to get to our 400 plus 50. I can do a 50 plus 10 plus 1 plus 1. So to get to 1,000, I can use my 1,000. To get to 400, I'm going to have to do 500 minus 1. And then to get to 62, I'm going to do 50 plus 10 plus 1 plus 1. And once you've figured out how to break it down, you're then just matching these to the Roman numerals. So 1,000 is M. 500 minus 100 would be CD. So I'm writing the C in front of the D so it's subtracted. 50 is L. 10 is X. And then I. So to go from a Roman numeral to an Arabic number, you're essentially doing that backwards. I'm going to take those letters, and as long as it goes bigger to smaller, I'm just going to add them up. If there's a smaller number in front of a bigger number, I'm going to subtract just those two. Okay, so X, 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 V is going to be 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 5. So altogether, that will be 35. Okay, so I want you to pause the video, try out those other three, and then start it up again when you're ready. Okay, so let's try the next one. VIII is going to be 5 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, which is 8. XIX, so here I have that situation where I have a smaller in front of a bigger. So it's going to be 10 plus 10 minus 1. So all together, I'm going to get 19. Okay, because that IX is going to be our 9. Okay, and then looking at the symbols here and what they mean, for this last one, I have 1,000, so M is 1,000. D is 500. L is 50. And then I have an IX situation again, so that is going to be our 10 minus 1. So all together, I have 1,559. Okay, so there you have it. That is how you go from a Roman numeral to an Arabic number and back. Again, you're just matching each of those symbols to their value as either a 1, 5, 10, 50, 100, 500, or 1,000, and then just following the Roman numeral rules in order to write them.